Okay, so instead of gaming today, I want to talk about something a bit different. It's new world order, pretty much, as you can see in the title. So I want to address some issues that are present and um, present some of my solutions to those problems. Okay, so first things first. How do we attain utopia, right? So I've come up with several steps that I'll break down into several videos in the future and I'll kind of talk about each of those dot points um, in like more specifically later on. So we'll talk about what the plan is today, as well as the education system, jobs and occupations, and how to put into play how to execute the plan. And then we'll talk about some community service stuff. And this is just all for the following videos. And after all these, maybe some more. I might add some more steps later. And this is how you pretty much attain utopia. All right. First things first, we'll talk about education. Now, it's obviously a really important aspect of our society, right? Kids growing up, they have to be educated to perform well and propel society forward. But the problem is with a lot of third world countries, they don't have access to that great of an education. So for instance, countries like this, um, you can just tell they're not gonna have education, right? Kids just grow up doing whatever the fuck they want, and then they turn up to be retarded when they're older. And this country here, I guess, I don't know, like it's apparently called the United States, right? It's got a bunch of squares that makes it up. Um, yeah, kids get shot there, and as you know, they go to school in constant fear, and as a result, they don't turn out very bright. So, um, let's see um how we can solve those type of problems. So, I reckon the first step is to actually make sure every kid has equal opportunity, right? Make sure everyone gets educated. Um, yeah, which will grant them equal opportunities when they're looking for a job later on. So that's the first problem, right? Trying to right now it's obviously very hard to achieve, but that's something that should be worked towards. Giving education to everyone. And I'll talk about the jobs and occupations that people might have later on. And I'm going to create a tier list of the jobs. And they're pretty much going to be based on just two things: contribution to society, and basically the higher the contribution is, the higher it's going to be ranked. And the other thing is that so if the one person can do another person's job, but they can't do their job. Okay, so just read what I have written down. If A can do B's job, but B can't do A's, then A's job will probably rank higher than B because A could replace B, but B couldn't replace A, right? So here's the job tier list. Gosh, my fucking eyes hurt so much. Okay, so this is job tier list. From F to S. I'm actually not going to use all of them. I'll only use like around um, five rows. So I'll keep the S tier jobs till last. I'll start from the A's. So obviously, doctor, lawyers. You need lots of qualifications. They're highly prestigious. They get paid a lot, right? So I don't think anyone's gonna question the fact that I put them up there. Um, Something else is pretty high. Manga artists, right? They put lots of work into creating the work. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of work to you know reach where they are, and also just rich people in general, right? Come on, who doesn't like a bit of rich people? Okay, so you get a general idea. Of course, there's going to be many more occupations that I'm not going to include in the tier list, but it should give you a general idea of what kind of belongs in which class, right? So top tier, very hard to achieve. Not many people can do it. I probably could, but you probably couldn't. So that's what goes into A tier. B tier, little less demanding. Like aerospace engineers, yeah, they still need to have a brain, but it's probably not as hard as some of the other ones. Um, Plumbers, um, are I guess they're really essential to society, right? Like you need people to be plumbing. That's why I place that in B tier. They're not as important as like let's say manga artists or anything, but they're definitely up there, right? If you don't have plumbers, none of the toilets are gonna work. Everyone's gonna stink. Okay, so to the next one. TikTok influencers and Instagram models. I don't think they're too useful. They belong in C tier. Because, again, thinking about who can replace who, right? You put a lawyer. They could be a TikToker, but a TikToker couldn't be a lawyer, right? Um, yeah. So, and you don't really need that many qualifications to go into those kind of occupations. So that's why they're in C tier, and that's yeah, okay, and that's one of the lower ones. I haven't put anything in D&E. So yeah, this is probably like the second lowest tier of jobs, in my opinion. Also chess players, like, why are you playing chess, man? It's so useless. You put effort into it, you get nothing in return. Why don't you just do maths instead? Like, come on, just yeah, I don't understand it. Um, so yeah, D&E, I just left it blank. It's because this picture just came with this many rows. I'm not going to use all of them, and this leaves us with the bottom tier, and that's obviously not having a job at all, right? Unemployment, you're the worst of the worst. So yeah, now you're probably wondering what's in the top tier, the S tier jobs, right? And first one, adult entertainment, right? They're the ones that control your dopamine past 11 p.m., right? Everyone uses them, and I don't think many people are willing to go into that industry. It's just, yeah, it's a really tough decision for someone to be in that industry, and they deserve lots of respect. All right, that's the first one. And since adult entertainment is up there, it also means that hentai artists should also be in the S tier, right? Um, just as the logic follows. Oh yeah, we're also missing someone else who's really important, and that's Jesus, right? He's doing God's work. It obviously belongs in the S tier jobs. Okay, so this is an overview of a job tier list that I've created based on the two requirements that I was talking about earlier. So, why did we need a tier list? Okay, so first of all, it can motivate people to climb the tier list, right? It's like, if you're a TikTok influencer, you probably get looked down at, and then you'll want to try to climb up higher, right? But you can also demote people who aren't good at the jobs. So for instance, let's say if a brain surgeon kills a patient, right? They could just get demoted to a news reporter. Or, if Jesus isn't doing his job properly, he gets sent to being a lawyer or a doctor, right? So, um, you know, again, it ties back to motivation. You don't want to be demoted. You don't want to be bad at your job and go to that lower tier jobs. So you try to work hard, right? And that kind of overall propels society forward. But the opposite's also true. You could also promote people who are good at the job. So for instance, if someone's lawyer, doctor, astronaut, firefighter, right, all sorts of things, then they could be promoted into, for instance, like the S tier jobs, the adult entertainment. Um, so that's something that could also happen. Okay, so you might be wondering, we're talking about all these demoting people who aren't good at the job. What if you're the lowest of the low? What if you're unemployed? So what happens then? Well, there's a simple solution for this. You can get executed, right? This will motivate people not to be unemployed, and you could also reduce global population. Um, the other thing is community service, which, like I said earlier, it's going to be a topic for next time. So this is all I have to say for this video. Um, yeah, stay tuned for all the other topics that I'll talk about, and I'll give you another overview of what I had in mind. Yeah, so these are all the other topics that I have for next time, and that is it from me today. Thank you for watching.